Hey guys, just arrived at Three Sisters Race Circuit. We are out here for race 3 of the Three Sisters 2-hour endurance race series. It's a series of 9 races, 7 of them count. This is race 3. Waiting for Phil Anders and Paul Tracy to show up. So today we have full team, which is great. So we have Phil Anders here.
Are we live?
Say hello!
Hello.
No, it's not live. So what do you think? We have 12 teams apparently today. Where we will finish?
Well, where did we finish last time?
Quick recap to race 2. Paul Tracy catapulted the team to 4th position, and at the start of the race he managed to hold on to it. There was some pressure from the outside line in turn 1 and 2, but he handled it well, and now it was time to chase down the Drive Fast kart and take 3rd place. Paul gets the opportunity in the long straight and overtakes car 23. In the next few laps, there is a bit of back and forth between the two of them as Drive Fast is keen taking the position back, but fortunately Paul manages to consolidate our position in 3rd, and now his task is to build the gap to the cars behind and try to gain on the cars in front of him. Unfortunately, this race we had car 26, which was one of the slowest cars in the fleet at the time, and while he was able to secure the position, the top runners were gapping us. The rest of his stint was smooth, he was passing a few back markers, but unfortunately he only managed to build a 4-second gap to the team behind us. Westside was on a different strategy. They had their least quick driver out first, we had our fastest, and due to this, it was only a matter of time for them to take the podium spot. Due to some tactical errors, we made their life even easier. We made some mistakes in our pit stop. In our fueling stop, we had some traffic there, which meant we had to wait in line to be refueled, costing us over 10 seconds, and we also misinterpreted the rules and made an unnecessary extra pit stop in both race 2 and 3. The rules state that you have to do 3 pit stops, from which one is the fuel stop, but there is a workaround. You are actually allowed to come in for your fuel stop, then roll forward and do the driver change, both counting as a pit stop. In both races we actually made an extra pit run for the driver change, which cost us a good half a minute per race. The second stint was Ian Ferries, who was here to replace the injured Phil Anders and did a brilliant job keeping the team in 4th, despite our strategic errors giving the teams behind us 40 seconds for free. By the end of his stint we had a good 39 seconds on Team RMH, our main rivals for the race. Westside was already a lap ahead, so our main focus was on Team RMH with the sole purpose of keeping them behind us. Our stint was fairly uneventful, had a bit of traffic here and there, we had to overtake lapped cars and get out of the way of the race leaders who were lapping us. Here you can see us trying to overtake the No Idea team driver, but as we head into turn 1, car 25 takes the inside and takes his lap back. As we head on to the Conrad straight, we get a good exit and tuck behind the receding Hairliners driver and pass car 24 in the process. As we reach the S's, he takes the wide line, misses the apex with overspeed and goes flying on the curves, allowing us to carry more speed and continue our attack as we are approaching the Dunlop corner. We are on the narrow line into the turn, but we still manage to carry decent speed through and put him another lap behind again. As we drive towards the checkered flag, we still have a good 24 seconds on Team RMH, and we bring the first race home just short of the podium.
Well, so with me here today then, we should be looking at maybe 7th, 8th, eh?
No, I think we should
we should try and cement our position in the top 4. And,
yeah.
I can't remember how far off we was from 3rd. Can you remember?
Far, like 2 laps.
Okay. So let's try and close that gap.
Yeah, 22 seconds in front of 5th.
So that's quite a good gap. So I would say let's aim for a podium and just see what's what.
Race 3 started brilliantly. Paul secured 2nd place in the qualifying, so we started the race with a front row seat, and he did not disappoint in the race either. I let you enjoy his back and forth against Sparky for the race lead with a bit of music. At this point, Parky managed to put a car between himself and Paul and went into the pits. Unfortunately, soon after this, Paul hit some traffic. On these races there are no blue flags, and the driver from our arch-rival team Westside, who we've been trying to lap, put up a good fight in the way inferior car 26. We knew from our practice sessions that he's a good defender, and with good positioning and fair moves he managed to keep Paul behind for multiple laps in a kart that does not have the same straight line speed as 23. As a result, Paul was stuck for a good few laps, while other teams were closing the gap on us. Eventually Paul manages to get a good exit and put them a lap behind and continue on his own pace until he comes for the driver change. Unlucky for us, from here the race went downhill fast. The next stint was Fields, and we made our unnecessary extra pit stop, and we also hit traffic in the fueling stop, so by the time we jumped in the kart, we were 4th and only a mere 20 seconds ahead of Westside, whom Paul just lapped. And the nightmare continued. In the practice session we noticed that the kart had a very good top end in the straight, but was very slippery in turns. Multiple teams had issues with grip on this day, and several of them were off pace. From our team, Paul managed to bring his usual numbers. Phil actually set his PB for this year, but we were really struggling and were a good 1 second off from our normal pace, clocking mixed 62s most of the stint, which allowed Westside to catch up and overtake us. Just to illustrate, let's compare a lap from another race to a lap from this one. As you can see already in turn 1, despite our entry speed being lower, we have to correct a lot, and we have no confidence if the kart will actually take the turn or not. As we get to Luna and turn into the Conroe straight, our exit speed lags behind, and this has a huge ripple effect throughout the straight. When we approach the S's, our top speed still lags behind 0.3 miles per hour, but the worst is our exit speed is 2 miles per hour lower due to kart not being stable enough. As we cross the finish line, we clock a 0.7 seconds slower lap compared to an already not too fast lap from another session. While we managed to put up a good fight against Westside and go a few times back and forth with them, they crossed the finish line in 4th, and we, after a brilliant start to the race, went home with a disappointing 5th place. Stay tuned, race 4 is coming soon. We really need a good race and beat Westside in the next one to keep our dreams of bronze for the whole season alive. So hit the like button, subscribe, and as always, see you in the next one. Happy racing!